Have you ever felt like your words disappear the moment tell your mood?
You speak, but no one really hears you. They nod politely, check their phones, or interrupt before you even finish. Meanwhile, someone else walks into the room and everyone leans in. What's their secret?
It's not louder voice.
It's not better grammar.
It's something deeper.
Something Carl Jung spent his life trying to understand. The true power of speech comes not from what you say, but from who you are when you say it. Carl Jung, one of the most influential minds in psychology, believed that the energy behind your words is what people really feel. He called it psychic presence. That's what makes some voices magnetic, not because they're perfect, but because they're real.
Let me ask you something.
Have you ever felt invisible, even while speaking your truth? Have you ever said something important, and felt it land with silence? That's not just a social problem.
It's a psychological one.
And Jung would say it starts inside you, not outside. Because here's a truth most people miss. The way you speak is shaped by your unconscious. And if your unconscious is filled with self-doubt, fear of judgment, or old wounds, your voice will carry that energy, even if your words sound right. But there's good news. This is not about being born charismatic or extroverted.
It's a skill.
And today, you're going to learn how to speak in a way that demands attention, not by force, but by depth.
Let's start here.
Before anyone listens to your words, they feel your presence.
Think about it.
Why is it that some people walk in silently and everyone just senses them? They're not talking. They're not performing. But something about them lands. That's presence. Jung said presence comes when your inner world and outer expression are aligned. When you're not hiding behind a mask, but standing in your truth. And yes, people can feel the difference. So here's your first practice.
Before your next conversation, don't rehearse your lines.
Instead, take 30 seconds.
Close your eyes.
Ask yourself, what am I actually feeling right now? Even this small pause helps you speak from truth, not performance. Because here's the paradox. The more real you are, the more powerful your voice becomes.
We live in a world full of noise, scripts, small talk, social masks.
But authenticity is rare. And because it's rare, it's magnetic. Carl Jung once wrote, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." That's not just a poetic idea. It's a practical speaking skill. When you speak from your truth, people don't just hear you. They feel you. And that changes everything. Now let's go deeper. Jung believed that every conversation is more than just an exchange of words. It's an exchange of unconscious energy. That means, even when you say all the right things, if your unconscious is filled with fear, insecurity, or neediness, people will feel it. Ever talk to someone who seemed nice, but something felt off? Or someone who didn't say much, but their words felt powerful, grounded, unforgettable? That's not just personality. That's unconscious alignment. And Jung's theory of the shadow explains exactly why. According to Jung, the shadow is the part of yourself you reject or hide. Your anger, your need for attention, your jealousy, your fear.
But here's the key. What you repress, leaks.
If you don't integrate your shadow, it doesn't disappear.
It shows up in your tone. It slips into your body language.
It wraps itself around your words and creates unease. Even when your surface looks calm. So what does this mean for your voice? It means, if you want people to truly listen to you, you have to speak with your whole self. Not just the polite version. Not just the professional mask. You must integrate what you've hidden. This doesn't mean oversharing. It means honesty. It means allowing your voice to carry your truth, not just your polish.
Let's get real.
You can feel the difference between someone saying, "I'm fine," when they're not, and someone saying it with full presence and alignment.
The words are the same.
But the energy behind them tells the real story. And energy is what people respond to. So how do you begin integrating your shadow into your communication?
Step 1, name it.
What are you afraid they'll see in you?
That you're unsure?
That you're too much?
That you're not enough? Don't hide it.
Observe it. Because once you see it clearly, it loses its power over your voice.
Step 2, find your center. Before speaking, take a moment. Feel your body. Feel your breath.
Ask, am I speaking from fear or from clarity? You'd be amazed how many people go through life speaking from fear. Trying to impress, to win approval, to avoid rejection. But when you speak from clarity, something changes.
Your voice slows down. Your message deepens.
You stop trying to prove, and start to connect. This is why some of the most powerful speakers are not the loudest,
but the clearest.
They speak with conviction, not to dominate, but because they know what they say matters. And they say it with their whole being. Jung once said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." The same is true for your speech. If you don't make your unconscious energy conscious,
it will direct your voice.
It will shape how people hear you. And it will leave you wondering why they never seem to feel you. So here's your second practice. Before your next important conversation, pause. Ask yourself, what am I carrying right now?
Is it fear? Resentment? Desperation?
Whatever it is, acknowledge it.
Then take a deep breath.
Let it be there, without judgment.
And speak anyway. Not in spite of it, but through it.
This is how your voice becomes not just heard,
but trusted.
There's one more layer to powerful speech that Jung's teachings reveal. And it's not about tone, vocabulary, or charisma. It's about meaning. Carl Jung believed that humans are not just individuals. We are carriers of ancient archetypes, universal energies that shape how we love, lead, speak, and grow. When your words tap into these archetypes, they stop being just words
and start becoming symbols.
Symbols that speak directly to the unconscious of others. This is why some speeches, even decades or centuries later, still move us.
They weren't just smart. They were archetypal. Think of Martin Luther King Jr. as "I have a dream" speech.
He didn't just list policies.
He painted a vision.
He spoke like a prophet, tapping into the archetype of the seer. Or think of a coach before a championship game. They're not analyzing. They're calling on the archetype of the warrior.
Te speak to someting primal, courage, brotherhood, sacrifice. So let's bring this back to you. When you speak, what archetype are you channeling? Are you the guide, calm and wise?
Are you the rebel, disruptive, passionate, provocative? Are you the lover, gentle, warm, emotionally open? People don't just hear your words. They feel the archetype underneath.
And here's the twist.
Most people unconsciously repeat the same energy in every conversation. Some always play the teacher, others always the student. Some lead with fire, others with cold distance. But great communicators?
They choose.
They can shift their archetype to meet the moment. So the next time you're about to speak, pause. Ask, what does this moment need from me? Does it need clarity? Then step into the sage.
Does it need action? Step into the warrior. Does it need healing? Become the nurturer. This isn't acting. It's alignment.
It's recognizing that within you are many voices. And powerful speech is not about being someone else, but about giving voice to the right part of you at the right time. This is why Jung said, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. Not just one version of you, but the full spectrum of who you can be. And every time you speak with that kind of self-possession,
people can't help but listen. Because it's rare. Because it's real.
Now I want you to reflect. What role do you tend to play in conversations?
Is it authentic? Or automatic? And more importantly,
what voice inside you is still waiting to be heard?
Here is the final truth.
Powerful speech isn't about talking louder.
It's about listening deeper.
Carl Jung once said, knowing your own darkness is the best method for dealing with the darkness of other people. And that applies to communication too. If you want people to listen to you, you must first learn how to listen, to yourself and to others.
Because underneath every conversation
is a desire to be understood. And sometimes, the most powerful thing you can say is nothing at all. It's the silence that holds space. It's the pause that allows someone else's truth to emerge. It's the stillness that says, I see you.
I'm not here to fix you.
I'm here to understand.
This kind of presence
is magnetic,
and it cannot be faked.
In a noisy world full of shouting, the person who listens deeply becomes irresistible.
And here's the twist.
When you really listen, you start to speak differently too.
Your words become more intentional. Your tone softens. Your stories serve a purpose.
You no longer speak to prove, you speak to connect. You don't try to dominate, you aim to resonate.
And that shift?
That's when people start leaning in. That's when your voice starts to carry more than sound. It starts to carry meaning. So if you want to speak in a way people can't ignore,
don't study persuasion. Study intention. Study presence. Study the you behind the words. Because at the end of the day.
Your communication is never just about them. It's a reflection of your inner world. If you speak with clarity, it means you've thought clearly. If you speak with compassion, it means you've felt deeply. If you speak with impact, it means you've lived honestly. The words people remember aren't the clever ones.
They're the true ones.
The ones that come from alignment between mind, heart, and soul. So let me ask you, honestly, when was the last time you said something that truly mattered? When was the last time your words weren't a performance,
but a mirror? Not to impress, but to reveal?
Because the goal of powerful speech isn't to be remembered. It's to awaken something in others they had forgotten in themselves. To say the thing they've always felt, but never dared to put into words.
That's the art. That's the invitation. So as you move forward, don't ask.
How can I get people to listen?
Ask.
What part of me is still afraid to speak?
And when you find that part, love it. Understand it. And then give it a voice.
Because the moment you speak from that place,
the world will stop and listen. Not because you're rude, but because you're real.